Welcome Raiders to another Raid Shadow Legends video, and in this one we're going to talk about something kind of special to the community, and then I'll talk about my personal feelings about this situation. But you know, at the end of the day, sometimes you gotta let things go, right? I wanted to talk about someone in the Raid community who I've known, not too close, like I know them to a degree and I know about their clan, I know about some clanmates as well. It is always sad to see people go. For a lot of people who don't remember, I remember Anonymous Gaming. He was a YouTuber who did a lot of live arena. He came to my Twitch chat all the time, talked to me. You know, he let me know, he told me some strats that he was like, yo, you should use this because I'm using it for flat arena pushes and stuff like that. You should try it out if you have these champions. I tried it out. I tried a different variant of it. He's a really smart guy, man. Unfortunately, he was handicapped, right? And he was still playing Raid, and he loved Raid even though he was literally handicapped. He couldn't even use his hands. I think he was using his eyes or his mouth to like play Raid. His name was Anonymous Gaming. Rest in peace to him. You know, it's sad to see people go. And unfortunately, before he left like YouTube doing videos, for some odd reason he removed all his videos. He was making a lot of beats or like music. Maybe he was trying to do something else to get his mind off of what's going on in his life. And maybe Raid was like, I don't know if Raid was making him not feel, you know, good, or people weren't watching his content, but he removed a lot of his content and he put a totally, like, he changed his whole channel, which made me a little bit sad because I would have went back and watched some of his vids. But yeah, it was sad to see him go. But someone else in the Raid community has unfortunately passed away, and we wanted to talk about it. We have this information that came from the Coliseum Discord. It is with immense sadness that we share the news of the passing of our beloved clan leader. If you guys didn't know, Gods of Forsaken has passed away. He passed away on his beloved bike with the wind in his ears, living life at full speed. Many of you knew Justin through the countless hours we spent together in Raid and in his voice chat channel helping others, right? He was more than just a clan member. He was a vital part of the Coliseum, a source of constant laughter, bad music, and a true friend to many of us. His daily presence, always bringing humor and light to our group chats, often while he was in the middle of cooking or running off to the store for ice cream, will be deeply missed. He brought so much joy, camaraderie, and skill to our shared experiences. The void he leaves behind will be keenly felt by all who had the privilege of gaming alongside him. Rest in peace, Justin. You'll forever be a cherished member of our clan. Now, it always does suck to feel someone, to know that someone you know personally, either through, let's say, like, you know, opposing clans, or maybe you could see them as a streamer, or you see them in other streamers' chats, right? And it is always sad to see someone go. Now, personally, I do have a story to talk about, but this in no way is trying to like shame or put negative annotations or in terms of Justin. This is just a situation that I had, and I just want to make you know, talk about it, because at first I didn't want to talk about this whole situation or give it any information of light because I was upset. But I've kind of let, you know, bygones be bygones, and of course this is just a normal thing that happens sometimes, even as content creators, right? With other people in my space, they hit me up or they talk to me, and the next thing you know, they're ghosting me, right? So it's a normal thing I deal with. But I had to talk about this situation. For a lot of people who don't know, there's a player named IPR Jungle, right? Very high up there in IPR, which is a very popular clan. And you know me, I like to help a lot of people. I do a lot of free account help, or I do service, right? Like service to help, right? And IPR was like, hey man, I'm kind of like, you know, getting to the point where I don't know what to do with Raid, right? And I talked to my clan leader. They said that I can, you know, do some certain stuff, and then you can eventually, if you want to give the account away or you want to use it yourself, hey, it's up to you, right? And I was like, wow, IPR Jungle has a really good account, and I thought I would definitely want to do something with that, right? But my account is only so much, even though I spend so much as well. It's not even close, right? So eventually, like, what happened was he said, I need to talk to Gods of Forsaken, which is his clan leader, or someone that he knew with his account was in at the time, which made me wonder if I didn't really ask too much into that, right? I didn't go too deep. I just knew. So maybe IPR was, I don't know, speculation, right? I don't know if he was jumping clans or if he had a second account he was talking about. I don't know. But anyways, more of the story is I eventually got hit up by Justin. And Justin was like, yo, I heard you talk to IPR and we have to do Chimera. Because of course we have Chimera Clash. We have Hydra Clash now. We have Siege. I get it. You can't lose an account really strong, right? Like IPR Jungles or an alt or whatever. But who knows what it was, if it was an alt or main. But you can't lose something like that, right? Because when you're a clan leader, you have to make sure you guys, because this is a very competition game, especially when you're high up as a tier 6. You're fighting all these other big people. You got to be able to handle what's coming at you, right? Me, on the other side, most of us endgame players who are not that big, we win and then we lose one, right? Like CVC, you might go hard on one and then you lose one, so you can go hard on the next one. But unfortunately, we're just not like credit card masters. We can't just keep swiping. So eventually I talked to Justin, Gods Forsaken. I talked to him. He's like, yeah, everything's gonna be good and all. And 2 weeks go by and I was like, hey Justin, like, what's going on? Is the account is the account going to be like, are we going to be able to, like, because my community is waiting on me, right? Because I told them I'm like, yo, I talked to Justin, they said everything's good, this is going to happen. So I let my community know. 2 weeks go by, people are asking me like, yo, what's up with this? And then boom, I'm now talking to 2 different people trying to figure out, am I being like, was this just like a hoax? Are we not getting it? Or you want to keep it in the clan? That's fine, but just let me know in advance so I can tell my community, right? Not like hold them on for 2 weeks. And I got people DMing me like crazy, like, yo, what's up with that? So then 2 weeks after the second week, I finally was able to talk to Justin. And I'm not gonna pull up the information because it's private, but I would like to give exactly like a synopsis of what he said. If I can find it. Man, I got too many DMs here. Holy shit. There it is. If I'm correct, I think he said, yeah. So it looks like what happened was I had a driver and he was driving that account, right, specifically, right? And the driver he helps out. He helps out like Ace Gonzo and some other people, stuff like that. And he was like, look, I'm gonna just do this for him. And so Gods of Forsaken was like, yo, I spoken with Jason and my clan members. One of them took over the account for now. So after waiting for 2 weeks, right, Justin is IPR Jungle, and then Gods Forsaken in this situation. It's weird. One's named Jason and one's named Justin. They both have J's in their name, and I'm JR. Isn't that kind of weird? That's 3 J's. I just noticed that. But then yeah, so he said he spoke to IPR Jungle, which is Jason, and he was like, yo, someone took it. So it was kind of weird because even IPR didn't tell me that afterwards, right? I mean, I don't mind if account stays with somebody or stays in a clan to help out the clan. Cool, just let me know in advance, right? They just kind of like threw me under the rug. And the only reason why I bring this up is because this happens a lot in the raid scene, right? And as someone that's been in a community, as an OG in the communities, since I remember when I was here with, Kizzle, Hell Hades didn't even have a camera, right? Stu Gaming. I've been here for a long time playing Raid Shadow Legends. Dark Mythro transaction, right? So, it's just weird that happens. And I get this game is a very competitive game and people are always trying to win, but it's just a game. I just feel like sometimes people take it way too serious. Like it's like life, like it's a part-time, like it's a real job. It's better to communicate and just let people know, look, I know someone said this or this, here you go, boom. It could have taken 2 days. I would have been totally fine. There was no reason to string me down for so long. And there's no shout out to IPR or to Gods of Forsaken, right, for their actions. It's just kind of weird that this has happened multiple times. This has happened with account giveaways. This has happened with account takeovers. This has happened with other content creators in the space. This just keeps happening, and it's just kind of weird, right? And it's kind of annoying. But more of the story is, be careful what someone tells you. It doesn't matter if it's on YouTube, doesn't matter if it's on Twitch, doesn't even matter if it's from Plarium themselves, because we know how they act. Okay, just be careful. You know, nothing is 100%. You should always think that things are not going to go your way, right? Or things won't be as it is. And anyways, at the end of the day, I'm okay. I was upset at first, right? At not both of them, but I was just upset at the situation. But I've kind of, you know, let it go away. I've let it bygones be bygones. And unfortunately, it does suck to see people go. I've had a lot of people go in my life, including animals, friends, neighbors. I've had neighbors that I only talked to twice in my whole life. And the second time was the day before they died. That was nuts. I couldn't believe when that shit happened. Like, I'll never forget the second time I spoke to my neighbor. Like, they just unleashed everything on me. Like, if I was like a priest or something, they just let everything out. And I was like, whoa, buddy, this is my second time talking to you. But like, you really get to know someone, and it feels sad to see them go. Anyways, my condolences to everybody in Coliseum. My condolences to everybody who knows Gods of Forsaken. And it's sad to see people go in the raid space. But at the same time, just, you know, remember, it's just a game. It's just a game. We gotta make sure, as a community, we gotta make sure we do right by our people, because even though Plarium might do us wrong, we gotta make sure to do right within, you know, within ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Also, be careful of people, what they tell you on YouTube. There's a lot of clickbait videos and a lot of misinformation as well. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, Raiders.